We've all been in that position before where you get to a test, you look at it, and you realize, I don't know any of this. This is when multiple choice questions come in handy because of process of elimination, but what if it's an essay? Now, nothing I say is going to replace the fact that you didn't listen in class or do the reading, but as someone who frequently doesn't listen in class or do the reading, I have a few very helpful tips for at least scraping by with a few points on that essay instead of taking a complete 0. So tip number 1, squeeze every bit of juice out of that prompt. If the prompt contains a quote and you're writing about a story and you don't know a single other quote from the story, use that quote. It sounds lazy, the teacher's probably going to realize that you didn't read any more of the story, but hey, having a quote is better than not having any. Along those same lines, you can pretty much form your entire introduction paragraph by reworking the question into a statement. Try your hardest to find 3 points in the prompt so you can build a paragraph off of each one. Tip number 2, do tip number 1 again. For the final paragraph, you can pretty much get away with just rewording everything from your introduction paragraph and starting it with, in conclusion. Number 3, if you have the option, write in pen rather than pencil, because then you can add something like the lyrics to Dancing Queen and then cross them off, and it looks like you had all these ideas in your head and you were deliberating about which ones were best, and it fills up space. Pen creates a very helpful optical illusion. Tip number 4, try and form some kind of connection between the topic and something you actually know about. Again, if it's about a story, try and compare what you do know about it to Shakespeare or the Bible or something else widely known. And if it's a question about science or something that you still don't know anything about, compare it to Shakespeare or the Bible, I don't know. Basically anything that can flesh out one of your bare skeleton paragraphs is probably helpful in the long run. And tip number 5, try to keep your cool. If you hand in the test with an air of confidence, maybe the teacher will remember that and they'll sort of create this idea in their head that you knew what you were talking about. Or, if they still realize that you're full of crap, at least you won't have stressed yourself out over a situation that was already doomed. And there you have it, an English major's guide to writing things that you know nothing about. Tune in next week when I teach you how to break into people's cars. That's not true, but might as well be. Bye!